I think we had a great weekend, although we didn't pull out the win, I guess, on Sunday. Of course, we're disappointed, but 4 points coming out of a weekend is really great. I think we hold each other to a high standard, and that's a good thing, so we were definitely disappointed, but if you take a step back, it's definitely great to come out with 4 points for both against two good teams. So yeah, well, I guess it was the first win at Texas Tech at Morgantown, so that was super exciting. It was great to be a part of that. We played super great. I think our performance that game, we deserved to win, and we have a great road mentality, so this team is great, and I think we deserve to win, so it's super exciting for us. For sure. I mean, we're competitive, so of course we're going to look at the standings, but that doesn't really dictate how we play. I know we come out no matter what. Like I said, we're competitive, and we want to win, if we were at the bottom of the table or at the top. So yeah, we're checking the standings, but that's not really changing how we're playing. We want wins, we want points every weekend. Yeah, so we've played TCU. We're really familiar with them. A great rivalry game. It'll be super competitive for sure. They've had, like Tom said, 10 days off, so they've had time to taper. But I think we have an advantage. We've been working our butts off. We've had great competition, great few games this past weekend, and I think we're just ready to compete and get some points for sure. Yes, for sure. Like I said, we're going to come out every game, but it's super fun to have a rivalry game. With TCU so close, we have so many people from Dallas, like you said, and it's fun to get a win against those. So yeah, we're excited for sure. Well, I'm super confident in how we're playing right now. We're performing great. We just need to get some goals in the back of the net, and I think once we score multiple goals a game, then there's no one who can beat us. Our defense is showing up every day. Our goalkeepers are showing up every day. Yeah, we're just performing really well, but we're definitely not done yet. It'd be silly to think that we couldn't be better. I believe so much in this team, and I think our goal is to win a Big 12 championship, so that's where we're at.
No, I don't think so. I think there's just good things come to some people that worked really hard. You know, our league is so good. At any moment, you could give Kaylee Dow the Offensive Player of the Week. You could give, obviously, our goalkeeper and several other goalkeepers the goalkeeper of the week, and there's a ton of good freshmen. So I think when you recognize it's nice to see that happening, but, you know, the Big 12 is loaded with players, so we're just glad that some of ours are being recognized at this time. Yeah, I think the team said it best after the game. You know, they were happy we didn't get 0, but they weren't satisfied at all with not getting 6. I think we were in position to get 6. We certainly had the chance to go ahead with the PK, and we were the dominant team through the first 30, but then Kansas had a good second half, and then overtime was just a slop. You know, it's a Sunday overtime, hot day. It wasn't the prettiest of soccer, but man, if you don't battle at that point, you're going to lose, and we battled. And so the fact that we kept a clean sheet away at West Virginia and home against Kansas was nice. But again, we wish we'd have taken 6 from it instead of 4. But we'll take the 4 and move on. You know, we're not looking over our shoulder now. It's Tuesday. We're good to go for this weekend. I think it's yet to be seen, you know, in that final analysis, because this back line does have 2 seniors, but 2 really young players and a freshman goalkeeper. So it would be hard to rate back line versus back line. All you can do at the end of the season is look back at the statistics and know that if you've had a bunch of clean sheets, it's a team thing. But at some point, the other team's got their best attackers against your back 4, and they've had to come up big, which they've done time and time again. So we're excited with where they are. I don't think they're done growing, and I think that they're excited about being able to help us win games. And, you know, if all else fails and we have to lean hard on them like we did at South Florida, then they came up big for us. We'll see. We have this class at Texas Tech about toughness, and then we spend weeks and weeks in like a toughness chamber where we just pull it out of them. Even the softest, weakest player becomes like iron. No, we're fortunate to recruit some tough kids, honestly. Like, you can't get that when you get here. You got to have it in you. You got to be either raised with it or born with it or kind of brought out of you as a young player and then felt good about it, you know. And our kids have come ready to battle. And then it's just, can they get better? Can they get fitter? Can they get more skillful? Can they get more tactical? But the toughness piece, you know, that's on them. They bring that to campus. We try to recruit those kids. You hope they're as tough as you thought they were, and most of them are. I think a really good game. You know, we know them well. They know us well. They've been off for like 10 days or so because their game got canceled. So they had a disappointing result the week before against Texas. So, you know, they're hungry for points. We're hungry for points. I don't think there's any leverage on who's more desperate or who's more engaged in the game. I think those levels are even. It's just a matter of who performs on the night. We're glad it's here on our field with our fans. That tends to make a difference for us. So I think it's going to be a great Friday night game. It's the old school Friday night deal, right? And if we get the turnout we've been getting on those kind of nights, it could be electric. I mean, I think in the off season that'll be a fun study, but just no time for that right now, right? I think now that you ask, I remember thinking that then and now, this team just does not want to lose. Like, they are just not going to accept losing. I remember thinking that then and now. So there's one comparison, is the thought of losing just doesn't cross their minds. Not that they can't get beat, because this isn't an arrogant group. As a matter of fact, this is one of the more humble groups we've ever had. Look at Kirsten Davis, one of the top scorers in the country, and you'd never get that out of her if you tried to make her say it. That's how sweet and I think kind of a human she is, which makes her more lovable for our players. They cheer everything she does because of the way she carries herself. So both teams are pretty humble, and both teams hated to lose. Players and what Gibbs has done with them. I mean, honestly, Coach Keaton's just got a great formula with them. He brings them along. It's a process. Coaches love that word. But defending with four takes a ton of cohesiveness. Imagine these four have never played together. They've never played with this goalkeeper. So you have to slowly layer in what you're asking of them, and then ask more and more and more each week. And we were all over them a few weeks ago about our ability to build out of the back. And they're like, okay, fine. And 2 weeks later, we're way better at it. So I think Gibbs has done a great job, and there's a huge commitment from him. I don't think it's a formula for clean sheet as much as it's a formula for recruiting the right girls and having them get as together as possible as quick as you can, because college soccer gets 2 weeks for preseason. We don't get a whole semester. So it happened pretty quickly. Yeah, I mean, for now, it's Maddie's opportunity to continue to carry us forward. She came on and saved us against South Florida, and it was unfortunate for Zoo. The team loves Zoo. We know if we need Zoo, she'll step right in and play great. So there's not like a rivalry or some sort of a tough decision each week. It's like both of them can do the job, but Maddie's rolling, and we're going to go with it. Well, I mean, yeah, she was owed a conversation for sure, just out of respect, and the team does adore her. So it's not like people are like, yeah, it's about time you sat down. The team loves Zeus. So it's just a matter of letting her know that she's got to bide her time, just as others have done in her wake. And so I know if we need her, she's ready.